All right, it should be around here. Give me some space. I'll activate the water insulating mechanism.
The what?
Alain, much like Renee, had long predicted that the water levels in Fontaine would rise. Thanks to his expertise in mechanics, he was able to implement a few simple measures to protect our home from flooding. I told him there was no need, that I would just move when the water rose too high. But it would seem he knew a day like this would come. All right, the silt has been cleared away. Go activate the mechanism for the first sluice gate. That will fill the empty middle chamber with water. All right, now turn on the drainage mechanism in front of the second sluice gate, and this chamber will become empty once again.
So, this is where you used to live? It's beautiful! There's even a garden!
Back when I lived here, it was my job to tend to the potted plants and flower beds. Still growing strong even after all this time. Who would have thought? If the weather was nice, I would take Alain out in his wheelchair and we would go for a walk. Before long, we started bringing Polonia along too. Come to think of it, I was the only one who could get around easily back then. Polonia always got stuck at some point, and it was up to me to launch a rescue mission. Happy? I suppose they were. Uneventful, but pleasant. Repetitive, but peaceful. It was like living in a world where time didn't exist. Of course, that was all just an illusion. Death still awaits all of us at the end.
Oh.
All right, enough standing around. Let's head inside. Yep, this place is exactly how I left it. Nothing has changed. What is it? Huh? How did you get... Oh, Arlecchino gave it to you, didn't she? And you... read the whole thing. Just so you know, a lot of that was written a long time ago. At that very desk, to be exact. Anyway, since you've already read it, you should just hold on to it. I can always start a new one. Well, feel free to look around. I'm going to start looking for the gift Alain mentioned. Oh, but be careful with the stuff around here. I'm not saying you can't touch anything. Just try not to choke on the dust. Coffee. Tea. Oh, I played with these when I was little. During the first few months after I was created, I mean. At first, Alain and I would play together, but it didn't take long for me to become unbeatable. So, Polonia and I played together instead.
Yeah, these don't look like Paimon's kind of games.
Logic and math puzzles? Those happen to be my specialty. It's been so long. What do you say? Should we play a few rounds? Let's go with this one. The gears on the left are stacked from largest to smallest. The goal is to move them to the other side in the fewest number of moves. Just remember, you can't stack a bigger gear on top of a smaller one. Looks like it took you a few extra moves. My first attempt was the same. You'll get better with practice. Well, what did you think of the game? You showed quite a bit of promise, too. We should do this again sometime. There are other puzzles we could try. These are some of Alain's drafts from his later years. Just casual doodles, really. And these are just some unimportant letters. I couldn't be bothered to sort through them before I left.
Wait, the people in this picture look kind of familiar.
Oh, this was taken when Alain and Renee were both still at the Fontaine Research Institute, before their falling out. In his later years, Alain would often sit by the fireplace and stare at this picture, wearing an expression somewhere between guilt and longing. He said he sometimes regretted not helping his friend when he needed it most, even if just to stop him. Old notes. This was Alain's workbench. Later on, of course, it became mine. It's where both Polonia and I were brought to life. Before Alain was bedbound, this is where he would teach me about mechanics. I would sit and listen, chiming in with questions here and there. Later on, when he got too sick, I took over and would work on Polonia here.
Wow! This house is filled with so many memories! It's so cozy and charming!
You should have seen it in its prime, when people actually lived here. A lit fireplace, a steaming cup of coffee. That's the real deal. You know, we also used to have a mechanical piano that Alain built.
Ooh! How chic!
Alain never played it much. He probably wasn't able to at that point. But I managed to teach myself. Music theory is essentially math, after all. Once you learn the patterns, it's not really that difficult. I loved perusing Alain's collection of classical music. The chords and harmonies felt like individual mathematical puzzles. It was fascinating, so I did some composing as well. But as Alain continued to deteriorate, even the sound of music began to grate on his nerves. So I got rid of the piano.
Aww.
Back then, I assumed a piano was like an ordinary clothing rack, commonplace in every home and easily replaceable. It was only after I left that I realized how hard a good piano is to find. Enough about that. Alain's gift should be just in here. The only things undisturbed before I left were a few of his personal belongings.